So it's lesson 128 today. The world I see holds nothing that I want. The world you see holds nothing that you need to offer you, nothing that you can use in any way, nor anything at all that serves to give you joy. Believe this thought, and you are saved from years of misery, from countless disappointments, and from hopes that turn to bitter ashes of despair. No one but must accept this thought as true. The world holds nothing that I want. If he would leave the world behind and soar beyond its petty scope and little ways. Each thing you value here is but a chain that binds you to the world, and it will serve no other end but this. For everything must serve the purpose you have given it, until you see a different purpose there. The only purpose worthy of your mind this world contains is that you pass it by, without delaying to perceive some hope where there is none. Be you deceived no more. The world you see holds nothing that you want. Escape today the chains you place upon your mind when you perceive salvation here. For what you value, you make part of you as you perceive yourself. All things you seek to make your value greater in your sight limit you further, hide your worth from you, and add another bar across the door that leads to true awareness of yourself. I'll read that sentence again. All things you seek to make your value greater in your sight limit you further, hide your worth from you, and add another bar across the door that leads to true awareness of yourself. Let nothing that relates to body thoughts delay your progress to salvation, nor permit temptation to believe the world holds anything you want to hold you back. Nothing is here to cherish. Nothing here is worth one instant of delay and pain, one moment of uncertainty and doubt. The worthless offer nothing. Certainty of worth cannot be found in worthlessness. Certainty of worth cannot be found in worthlessness. Today we practice letting go all thought of values we have given to the world. We leave it free of purposes we gave its aspects and its faces and its dreams. We hold it purposeless within our minds and loosen it from all we wish it were. We hold the world purposeless within our minds and loosen it from all we wish it were. Thus do we lift the chains that bar the door to freedom from the world and go beyond all little values and diminished goals. Pause and be still a little while and see how far you rise above the world when you release your mind from chains and let it seek the level where it finds itself at home. It will be grateful to be free a while. It knows where it belongs. But free its wings and it will fly in sureness and in joy to join its holy purpose. Let it rest in its creator, there to be restored to sanity, to freedom, and to love. Give it 10 minutes rest 3 times today. And when your eyes are opened afterwards, you will not value anything you see as much as when you looked at it before. Your whole perspective on the world will shift by just a little every time you let your mind escape its chains. The world is not where it belongs, and you belong where it would be and where it goes to rest when you release it from the world. Your guide is sure. Open your mind to him Be still and rest. Protect your mind throughout the day as well. And when you think you see some value in an aspect or an image of the world, refuse to lay this chain upon your mind, but tell yourself with quiet certainty, this will not tempt me to delay myself. The world I see holds nothing that I want. So we will go into this stillness today. Now, we will take the 10 minutes and let our minds feel very free. We release the world. We release our wants. And thoughts related to the body. Just let them go. There's no effort. There's no effort in letting go. So there is this clear and also interesting line in the lesson. All things you seek to make your value greater in your sight limit you further. Hide your worth from you and add another bar across the door that leads to true awareness of yourself. So anything that you seek to make yourself better limit you further. Add another bar across the door that leads to awakening. All things you seek to make your value greater. It could be interesting to check inside of your mind, how much you do to make your value greater as a person. What things do you do to prop yourself up, make yourself better, more valued as a person? And to understand that these are limits. You don't need them. Because temporary values are of no value. In the ego's world, then that means to sacrifice. And that is another trick that is not true. There's no sacrifice in seeking your true worth. The only purpose worthy of your mind is to pass the world by without delaying. That's what David said yesterday too. And the life in the world is so short. We think it's so long, we give it so much value. But if the world was over in an instant, then there's something weird going on. If we think a lifetime is long, there is some weird, old, tragic memory, disaster being acted out. separation, the belief in separation. So all we need to learn is to see it as a belief. So we practice that to release the world moment by moment. And in a way that we feel expansion and joy and connectedness. Not in a way to feel separate, alone, deprived. It's not what it is. You feel this, you feel how good this is. Are you able to let go of this judgment or this I know, or whatever might be going on? Like if you focus your whole attention on that, you let go. It should be easier than to hold on to something. Does anyone have anything you would like to explore on this theme? Or anything you want to name as part of letting go of the value you put on the world? Sometimes it's helpful to name it out loud. This I release needing to be acknowledged, or I release my need to look a certain way.
Yeah. Mm. It was something coming up strongly this morning, and reading the lesson after, I suddenly see that I value that, and I'll try and name it. I had this strong feeling of being unwanted and rejected from Peter. And I could suddenly see that I think that my worthiness comes from him. And that I want him. I want him to want me. I want him to not reject me. And the pain that came when I felt that was so extreme. So extreme. And I can say I want it to be about what he's saying and that he actually is rejecting me. But it's really painful. And a part of me is really struggling with that it has nothing to do with him. But when I read the lesson, I saw that so clearly, that I'm putting everything, every value on Peter and how he is acting towards me. And that actually did, what's the word? That seems to cause how I feel. If I feel terrible or if I feel joyful. Yeah.
So you release the need to be wanted.
That's a strong value there. I can see that. I guess in moments I do. And then I see it come back. I did feel the release. I did feel like this, when I saw that I didn't need that from Peter. But yeah, I guess I have a fear that it's too strong. Yeah, this is such an old belief, an old pattern in me. I had it up yesterday around my daughter, and I know that I have a lot of guilt, and I still think that I hurt her, and that I need to make that good again somehow. That's really painful. It feels so painful. But at one point I could see that I'm actually holding a both of us prisoner in that belief.
Yeah, you had such miracles when you were with her. I think the mind goes back to something that's no longer there, to remember the miracles instead and release the daughter, the mother role again.
Yeah, just having a day where she called me some few times, and I didn't see it, and when I saw it I was like, no, I don't feel like calling back right now, and then it all flashed up the day after, this guilt. Yeah. But I had this strong feeling that if I called, it would be pleasing, and it actually would probably not be a good call.
Yeah, so that thought that comes after is the ego. The day after, if you follow guidance and you didn't even see the call and then you saw it and you felt it wasn't guided, why would you the next day feel anything but joy for following the guidance and trust?
It's like my mind is just it's just guilt coming up, and then I go into making excuses and finding excuses, and what am I going to say if she is angry or if she feels subjected, and yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
So you make her your prisoner.
Yeah.
Like you said, you make both of you prisoners. Pray to learn to be truly helpful and take it from there. Because you cannot be of help from that place of guilt. Yeah, you might need to journal and write or something. Write all your thoughts to her. Write a letter to her and don't stop until you're completely clear, free. You don't have to send it, but just write to her.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Sorry. I'm gonna go and get a scarf. If someone else wants to begin, if there is more, you can just share with Barret.
Yeah, when Jenny was reading the lesson and speaking about the value, that paragraph, you know, the things you value, I immediately thought of something straight away. The video editing. I can see how I value that ability that I seem to have, and the fact that it enhances, at least in my sight, it enhances it enhances me a little bit. Or that's at least what part of me uses it for, you know. It makes me feel good that I seemingly have this ability, and people seem to also reflect that. And yeah, being totally honest, it makes me, I value that. I value the feeling it gives me. You know, I feel kind of important in some way, you know. Or, yeah, there's probably a lot more things, really. But that just came straight into my mind when I heard Jenny saying that, reading that lesson. Yeah, so I just wanted to raise that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think, like if it's something that bars the door to my real self, like, oh my God, you know, I don't want to hold on to that, you know. And I actually want to be shown if there's more things like that. I want to see them. I want to just let them go, you know. I want to really feel worthy and just feel the certainty and love of God without these things blocking the way. Yeah, because they're not real, you know. So yeah, I want to let them go. That one especially. Really let Jesus use that ability. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, when we give these things over, then they just feel lighter.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually feels lighter already. Just that I've said all of that, I can feel, yeah, it's like I've removed one of the bars. Feels nice.
Matthew was just expressing that, you know, talking about the values, the things he values. He noticed that he values the concept of being a video editor and the kind of the, you know, the positive things it seems to be showing him, you know, the reflections that people enjoy what he does. And but that there's been attachment or investment in that.
Good. It's a great example of like when you release that, you feel free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really feel it in my stomach now. Yeah, it's great. There's actually just more, you know, when you really think about it. There's another one I've been aware of as well, is even the fact that I was on heroin. It's like it's become part of my self-concept now, that I like the fact that people, they think that, wow, yeah, here you are, you're off that. That must have been hard and, well done. I kind of, part of me that likes all that. It's just something else that I like, that seems to enhance my self-concept.
What a good person you are, huh? Like that. Is the thought.
What?
Yeah, the thought. Oh, what a good person I am.
Yeah.
What a
accomplished.
accomplished.
Or an interest in life, Yeah. So yeah, I just want to raise up that as well.
That's good. That's good. You see those, even those things that they are not very valued, but still self-concept can actually hook on to even those things.
Yeah.
Or that thought.
What?
Yeah, or that thought, I've come so far.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. Jesus says in the Manual for Teachers, you haven't come as far as you think. Like he says that across the board, He can say that.
Thanks, Jesus.
Yeah, that's another help in letting go of pride. Beautiful. You finished, Matthew?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
I only have 10% battery on my phone, and so let's see how long I will last in this meeting. But I've been looking at a lot of thoughts that I have, that kept me separate from the community, and I can see how all the areas around food and money, and as I also wrote to you, like several areas in my mind. But I still have the belief that when my nervous system is irritating me, then there's nothing I can do till I get the rest. And it seems very real. Yesterday I came and visited my dad, and I had a bad night of sleep. And I could just feel how I found my dad incredibly annoying till I got the prompt to go and rest for 20 minutes. And then I took 20 minutes rest, and I came back, and the whole situation changed. And I do have the belief also that ayahuasca actually makes that irritating nervous system a little worse because of all the Kundalini energy rising. So even though ayahuasca have in my perception a helpful effect, there is also the fear that it will actually make my nervous system annoyed, which is my biggest fear, because I believe that can keep me from you guys, which is my biggest goal, to be around you in that community. So I don't know what my value is. think I overvalue and I overthink about the nervous system, and I need to know that it is really it is the miracles that and that's also what I felt, that when we had the miracles there was not tension in the nervous system anymore. It feels very tense here. Yeah.
You're releasing the nervous system with the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. It's just a training, the same training, like to see that how you feel is a result of your thought.
Yeah, a lot of body thought. So let go of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. There is no nervous system.
Okay.
Just mind. It's just mind. Yeah. And
are we switched on?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't want to miss an opportunity to just put something on the altar, and what came into my mind just then was how much I want to please you and Barret, Jenny. You know, that came up last night quite strongly, and it's yeah, wanting to still be a good girl and prove that I'm worthy, when my worthiness doesn't come from that at all. So I'll just really place that on the altar. And almost everything, you know, like that's been shared, I can see that that's something that I want to release as well. You know, gaining an identity from a particular kind of life, or I've done this or this person. You know, there's lots of things around it. So I just want the whole past really and identification with it. You know, I just want to lay the whole thing on the altar. Yeah, and pride. You know, sometimes I can't see the pride until, you know, like I'm standing back after an event, and just want to be more aware of what's holding me back from being here, you know, actually experiencing this present moment. But this lesson, I have to say, is just perfect for today. And there was a line actually about, you know, like releasing your mind from the chains, and I can see, and that's what I want to place on the altar. I can see that there's almost like standing at the gate, you know, allowing Holy Spirit to just take my mind. I don't know if that's the best way to say it, but yeah, there's just something there. I don't even know what it is. Yeah, I do. It's fear of just releasing and letting go, and just allowing Spirit to completely take control. And yet, you know, even saying that, it's like, you know, I do get this sensation of just let it pass by and then start again. So that's the feeling that I have in the meditation. Thank you.
Thank you. It is a very interesting lesson. Like the only value the world holds is your ability to pass it by. If you think of it, you will also inevitably need to think of all the things you want, because that's what makes up the world. That's what makes up your time and your days and your years.
Hi.
Hi.
It's always easier to share when I kind of already onto something.
When you've already thought it.
Yeah, exactly. And when I'm in the middle of it, and the part of me that's blaming, and I can see that I really hate being blamed, and the sense of injustice that comes up, and I really hate it. I don't want to be seen as blaming. But a lot of victim stuff came up this morning, and I was really finding it difficult to quieten my mind in listening to all the blaming. And underneath it, there is a strong, I think I started to go into it again, and it's been coming up quite a lot, and it's been so intense. Often I fall asleep, and this morning I just felt really dark, hopeless, really believing somehow that Solva is doing something to me. So I think there's great anxiety here. And yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to say,
sorry, go on.
It is okay to say no. It is okay to say I'm not available right now.
I just don't know how to answer that.
It's not a question. It's
yeah. Then I don't know. Sometimes I've done it, but yeah, I think I probably. It's like, yeah, probably want, if I have, yeah, there are times when I want her to be available. So maybe there's some reciprocity about that. Yeah, I just don't know. I had just been meditating, and then she came in and said something, and then I think I reacted a bit. But I also wanted to share about, I don't know if I want to get into this right now. I just don't know quite what the fuck's going on. And I don't know what's true in this place at the moment.
think I want to ask Solveig to look at Peter, look at us. Okay, be here. Yeah. Here. Both here and there. Yeah.
It was something that Solveig was sharing this morning. I also, something about the relentless going into stuff. And almost feeling like I don't exist. And so it brings up not being cared for me, something like that. And almost as if the stuff, sometimes my mind thinks, is this an act of revenge? You're just going to go into more and more and more stuff. And I feel really bad about saying that as well. I don't. And I have had periods of my life where when I was consciously working myself, I was just constantly in stuff. And in the end, Thich Nhat Hanh would say, well, you start with the joy and you come to the joy in the middle and you come to the joy at the end. But in between, you have to deal with stuff. So I try and do that more, but I have a tendency still to get caught in stuff. I just finding it exhausting. I think maybe it's just because there's deeper stuff there that wants to come up for me, but I just feel a bit overwhelmed. I don't feel safe, really.
Well, remember analogy of the plane, when you're on the plane and they say, put on your own mask first. You cannot be of help when you haven't given yourself the space. So it's to teach what you would learn, to just say, I don't have the capacity to hold the space right now. I'm going within myself. Because you guys are both, you're going beyond the game of guilt and the game of like dependency. And if you start to have some kind of bargaining going on, I mean, that feels kind of off. Like you think you should listen because you want her to listen in the future, as if you have some kind of, you know, business.
Ledgers. Yeah.
Purchasing something. It's love is the opposite of all of that. Love is giving, but it comes from joy. It comes from feeling very free yourself and okay and available. And I think there will need to be some no's. And saying no when, like Solveig, you said you're looking at that dependency. You want him to be available and you almost demand it. But that's what needs to be released, that need, that you need to look at that. It comes from such deep, I don't know, ego pattern. Because often we operate from a should, Peter. Like I should say yes, I should always be available because she has stuff, and sometimes I have stuff, and you know, those thoughts. You should. But you need to be more honest in the present moment to say no if you don't feel it, regardless of what you might need in the future, you know, that has nothing to do with it in the present, because that is just guilt involved then.
It's like, yeah. I mean, this sounds almost paranoid, but it's like I want her to be there for me sometime. I want her to be there for me when I have stuff.
Mm-hmm. Which she often is, and she often will be.
She can be, yeah. Really strong sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. But that has nothing to do with if you're there for her. In fact, you have to trust God more than that.
Yeah, I'm not clear about this. So just sort of trying that all out. I mean, I feel like I've taken my own space more recently. Partly because Solveig heard her back, so she was lying down more and doing that in another room. And so it naturally gave that. I mean, I don't think I'm good at, that's the truth of it. I don't think I'm good at taking space. But I think that's true also, especially I can duck and dive around this feeling.
You're pretty good at taking space. You are pretty.
Okay, I mean, I just, well, there's something that almost, if there's something that if I say I'm good at something, then I've also got to say I'm bad at something. Something like that as well. Almost to protect myself. Don't want other people to be jealous or feel unworthy. Yeah, that's it. It's still, you know, my own struggles with unworthiness. And
you should
maybe
read, you should read it again, littleness versus magnitude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, part of that is about wanting people not to trigger my littleness, I guess. I don't know. I need to reflect on it. Thank you for what you said. I think I feel like I'm in the middle of it. And sometimes I've shared when I'm in the middle of something, and that's been amazing because I just didn't even know what until I took the next step. I feel really upset underneath all this. I was feeling upset when we started. So part of me in a way just wanted to stay quiet with that. I even thought about not coming. I get confused about the value of staying alone, mindfully with God and working with it, and the value of being in the community. And sometimes it's a distraction when I'm right with some stuff. It turns out to be, but sometimes it's amazing. People say things and I go, okay, it just resonates right at that moment. Yeah, and I want to be in the love with you guys. I felt it. There was a point, I don't know whether you were consciously thinking of me, but I suddenly felt this joy just around me. And I thought someone is just tuning in, and I'm feeling like, okay, I just felt this gratitude that was lifting me out of this despair, you know, and it's okay. I was kind of like, I can be with this despair. I can be with this hopelessness. But there's a part of me wants to move away from it too. You know, so, but yeah, I just need to have time, and I need to concentrate. It needs concentration. I need to just slowly just merge into this place with whatever it is. And usually it's transformational when I do. It takes some application.
Yeah, that's good use of time.
Yeah, there's something about the unworthiness of being with God, I think, comes up.
You're worthy to give all your time to God. All of it, 100%. 1,000% if that was possible. Yeah, in this section that you can read later, it's saying, choose littleness and you will not have peace, for you will have judged yourself unworthy of it.
Judge myself for being unworthy of the littleness.
No, peace.
Of the magnitude, right, yeah, okay.
Peace of mind. If you choose littleness, you will not have peace, because you judge yourself unworthy of peace. Whatever you offer as a substitute is much too poor of a gift to satisfy you. It is essential that you accept the fact, and accept it gladly, that there is no form of littleness that can ever content you. You're free to try as many as you wish, but all you will be doing is to delay your homecoming. You will be content only in magnitude, which is your home.
Thanks for persevering. It's really helpful. I can just feel that the words has come up. The addiction to littleness.
Yeah. Yeah. You who have sought and found littleness, remember this. Every decision you make stems from what you think you are and represents the value that you put upon yourself. Believe the little can content you, and by limiting yourself, you will not be satisfied, for your function is not little, and it is only by finding your function and fulfilling it that you can escape from littleness. So every decision you make stems from what you think you are and represents the value that you put upon yourself. So every decision you make, every moment, reflect the value you put upon yourself.
Yeah. Well, I was somewhere in the night, it just came to me often when I feel shame and guilt. I might just say it and share it, but thinking like, I really want to spend more time just really seeing that I'm not that shame and guilt. And that it's not true.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it feels like for quite a long time I've wanted to face the guilt, and I do find it difficult, I have to say. And but I can feel that my intention is growing stronger to face this unworthiness. So yeah, I mean, that feels good to say, you know, in this magnitude versus littleness place kind of story unfolding. So to have,
so for both of you, for everyone, I mean, it is to see the moment by moment decision, see how much is based on future consequence, the fear of a future outcome that you don't want, you know, and just see that from every moment by moment. And if the decisions you make are based in littleness, is to dare to take a moment there and question this, to release that littleness. So that's why it's so much anger, and it's projected, and it's right there, like in your relationship. You could read almost anything in the course, and it will address it. You know, it's going to be very helpful.
We're so fucked up. Anything will do. Yeah. Okay.
No, the course is so brilliant. That's what I'm coming from.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You see, that's how I.
That's how littleness interprets things. But that's why you can read that section.
It is funny to see it. It is funny to see.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's funny to see it, at least. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's very good to laugh at the ego. Laugh the ego.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not big and heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, blessings to you both, and just open the door to the miracle. Every time you feel stuck, just open the inner door for the miracle to come through. Change.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are there any other sharings?
Yeah, when Dave just said yesterday, like let come up. You can say, oh, who is there underneath, something like this. Who is there? You can come up. I'm afraid of that, to say that, you know, because in my mind, and some monster can say, "Rah, you see me," and yeah, this thought, like I just want to feel love. I don't want to feel anything more, you know. I don't want to see the darkness, and I just want to feel love. But yeah, I just realized when I remember Dave just saying, no, who is that? I just, no, maybe it's not. But yeah, in this morning, I could see in my heart this invitation from the Holy Spirit, you know, just let it go, all the blocks, all the defense, you know. And because when I let it go, when I surrender, I can feel this love, and it's so beautiful, it's so gigantic, so expand, you know. And then just, oh my God, I don't need to be worried about how it form. Or this future thought or these outcomes, I don't wanna, I don't need to be worried about anything. I can allow myself to feel love now, to feel love for everybody, for everything, you know. And yeah, I could hear the birds singing, then all this invitation, this love, just feel, and just surrender this thought, this fear thought. And oh my God, I can feel now, you know, this, it's really beautiful. It's really, oh my goodness. This feeling is really, thank you. I cannot hold in my body.
Yeah, that is so expansive. And from that place, it's so safe to ask the monster of darkness to come up, if there is one, you know, if there is a darkness, because that just, you made it sound, this expansive love can handle the monster, like it will disappear, but you can dare to let it be invited. And you did, because you heard David. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Francois?
When I read this morning this lesson, there's that fear of just going into the world I see. Well, it's nothing I don't want. It's just that fear of a valuelessness, and there's the fear of depression.
Peter?
Pardon?
I said Peter's name. Call the mind back. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, what did you say, Francois?
There's a fear of depression. I have had experiences where I've gone into that really everything is valueless in this world. And then I gone through, gosh, why to make why to do anything? But as you were sharing this in the session, I can't remember who shared, but I think maybe Peter's or someone brought up this feeling of why there's thought of why do anything, why be, I mean, in this world, but then why take care of the body, why take a shower, all these thoughts came rushing in. And then I had this, I think this was Spirit just coming up and saying to be with me. If you do anything, be with me.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because otherwise the ego was doing the lesson. The ego is not good at doing course lessons. So it's also to use the symbols, use the symbols of the world.
That's exactly. That's you just made the answer.
Yeah.
Making it's using the symbols to remember who I am.
Yeah.
Always.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not. Or even that is doing, but it's all these thoughts. Why eat? Why? But it's doing it with presence, and that's why sweeping, talking, speaking, interacting, joining, it's always, who is this for? What is this?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's it. To practice, do it all with the Holy Spirit, with joy. And rejoice, you know, the sweeping, the eating, going to the toilet, drinking, sleeping, do it all with the Holy Spirit. Use the symbols. Be present in them.
Yes, without presence, it feels meaningless, which is, it's I've seen that. I mean, so many moments in life where I've been, if I just do it to do it, I can't remember it, or I can't, it's not it's just the essence of doing is death. There's no life. But when the moments when I have done it with love, it's just, it's like it's just like love.
Yeah, that's it. And it's beautiful. Yeah, I feel it's so important, guys. Every joy, every insight is all of yours. You're not here to zone out or to forget what we just said, all the gifts, it's all for you. Remember, and it's very, when we're in a group that we meet almost every day, same people, it can be very tempting to zone out because you think you know who they are, but you don't. Like every moment here is very precious, to stay present and see the gifts for your own mind. Doesn't matter who speaks, doesn't matter if you don't speak, it's all for you. It keeps being all for you. Yeah, just want to say that. So thank you, Francois. Thanks. Very beautiful insights. Yeah. It's all for you, Solveig. It's all for you, Peter. It's all for you, Vanessa. It's all for you, Grace. It's all for you, Anne. It's all for you, Francois. It's all for you, Matthew. It's all for me. It's all for you, Barret. Yeah, that's why Jesus even says, you believe you're not worthy of consistent effort. Because to the separate mind, it takes a little bit of an effort to show up, to be present and open. But you are worthy of consistent effort. You believe you're not, but you are. So remember that. You're worthy of that alertness, of showing up for the present. It's going to save you time. Yeah. I love you. Bye for now.
Love you guys.
Love you. Thank you.
Thank you.